Alright, hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is just going to be a not very quick video on the state of Hearthstone at the moment. As anyone who's watching this probably knows, we just got a new expansion 2 days ago. It's called the Grand Tournament. There are a bunch of new cards in it. I'm missing a few of them. Hang on. So I'm missing a bunch of the cards I haven't got. Hang on. I have not got Aviana. I'm missing a bunch of legendaries and epics, but that's about it. I've got all the commons and rares, I believe. But so, I just want to talk about what the game is like right now. So because this expansion just came out, it's still very experimental. People don't know what's good, what's bad, what's gonna stick, and what won't. So I just wanted to make some predictions about what decks are gonna stick and what individual cards are going to be, people are going to realize that they're not very strong. And I also want to talk about some of the cards I was excited for. So first, I was going to talk about the cards I was excited for first. First up was this guy. This guy right here, Totem Golem. Now this thing, Totem Golem it's a spider tank for 2 mana. Like it's as good as spider tank, maybe a little bit better, because it's better than spider tank because the overload, I don't consider overload to be 1 mana. It's 1 less mana next turn, so you could play Totem Golem and into Totem Golem, so you could have a spider tank on turn 2 and 3. It's the same as coining out a spider tank. That is pretty insane. I mean, 2 mana for 3/4. The overload 1 isn't a big deal, and 2 mana for 3/4 is ridiculously strong. So this is one of the cards I personally thought was just going to be incredibly powerful, and I've been right so far. Number 4 was a card, sadly, I do not have, so I haven't had a chance to try him, but Chillmaw. This card, it beats Patron Warrior. Patron Warrior is currently the strongest deck in Hearthstone. Chillmaw, you drop Chillmaw. If you're holding a dragon, you win. You beat Patron Warrior. You've killed all their patrons and their Warsong Commander. And also it's a taunt. It's good anti-aggro because it will clear their board if you're holding a dragon. Only problem is you have to make it to turn 7 against aggro, but if you're playing Chillmaw, you're probably playing a control deck or a slower deck, maybe Warrior or Priest, or the 2 decks that are using dragons right now. So Chillmaw, I just think is a strong. It looked strong when I saw it. I kind of went, that's a strong card. Beats Patron Warrior. Thank you, Blizzard, for the Patron Warrior counter. So Chillmaw is an interesting card. Also, it's a dragon, so it can activate your other holding a dragon things like Rend and such. My number 3 is. I think this is on everyone's list. That's Varian Rin. Papa Rin. 10 mana, 7/7. Okay, so that kind of sucks. Draw 3 cards, put any minions directly onto the battlefield. The dream of Ysera and Alex the dream of like Ysera, Gromash, Ragnaros. You can get like some giant ass minions onto the board. You just play Variant, you get like a 7/7 and a bunch of giant ass minions. Even 10 mana 7/7 draw 3 cards is insane. Even if you just get spells, you've still got those spells in your hand so you can use them. Better if you get the minions, if you get like non-battlecry minions. But Variant is very, very strong. It's so far it's been proved to be insanely strong. It's just very slow is its one weakness. But even though it's slow, it's still crazy good, and it like when I saw this, my jaw just dropped. I was like, what is this card? Why is this so good? So next is not Just a Care. Justicar Trueheart. 6 mana 6/3 battle cry, replace starting hero power with a better one. I saw this and I thought, okay, better hero power. Does that mean like hunters deal like a little bit of extra damage, mages deal extra damage, priests do more healing, warriors get more armor? That's not too big of a deal. And then I saw the improved hero powers, and I just kind of saw this card and went, you know, I kind of need to craft this. I kind of need to get this thing in my packs. I probably could. I might just create it now, but I'm not going to. But Justicar is one of the cards I was really excited about seeing. It had such a cool effect. It was unique. It was one of those. It's not unique because there's been some hero power changing cards before, but it does manipulate your hero power, and this expansion was about hero power manipulation and interactions. And so I'm just glad to see that they had a card that made them better. So the last card on my list, the number 1 card I was most hyped for in this expansion, number 1 card I wanted the most in my packs, sadly did not get, is Ronin. Ronin. When I first looked at him, I went 3 arcane missiles. That's pretty strong. 8 mana for 7/7 is pretty bad, but you get 3 arcane missiles. You still have to pay for them, but that's just. And then I kind of thought about it, and I went, that's just a better Dr. Boom. It's the same body as Dr. Boom. You don't get the 1/1s, but you also get 9 random damage, whereas Dr. Boom is 2 to 8, only on 2 targets. Ronin's is 9 damage across all targets. That can be better or worse in some situations when they have like Acolyte of Pain, and when they have Acolyte, when they have what's it called, Grim Patron, when they have stuff like that. Stuff that when it takes damage, it summons more stuff, or it draws cards, or stuff that activates taking damage. The bombs are better, but in every other scenario, Ronin's missiles are better. So Ronin, I kind of just looked at and went, this is just a slightly better Dr. Boom in some cases, and a slightly worse Dr. Boom in other cases. So to me, this is about even with Dr. Boom. That's in my opinion, it's better. It's as good as Dr. Boom. So and everyone knows Dr. Everyone knows Dr. Boom. Oh my god, there's like a period in his name, isn't there? What the hell? Oh, of course, I'm only in TGT. Everyone knows the Doc. Everyone knows how good this guy is. So, just to see something that might actually rival him is something awesome. So, from this expansion, because there's 132 new cards, 132 new ways to see how much more fun Hearthstone can get, and also how much more cancerous. But there's a few decks that came out of this, and that's you got Totem Shaman, which runs these Tuskar Totemics, Totem Golems, Thunderbluff Valiant. These are some very strong cards you got. I talked about Totem Golem. Tuskar Totemic summons any random totem, so you summon a Totem Golem, and you get a 3/2 for 3 mana. That's insane. I think it's like a 1 in 8 chance. Thunderbluff Valiant buffs all your totems when you use your hero power. So if you just hero power once with a couple of totems on board, you're already getting crazy good value from this guy. So I highly recommend trying Totem Shaman if you've got the cards for it. This is my list for anybody who's wondering. The other deck that I think was really interesting that came out of it was Beast Druid. This is one of the decks I built. This is a deck I've really enjoyed playing. I believe this is Firebat's list, but it's really, really strong. You'll notice the distinct lack of legendaries. It is crazy cheap to craft. There's no legendaries or epics. The only thing you need is like Druid of the Flame and Haunted Creeper from the adventures, but everything else get in packs. So it's crazy cheap to craft. Seriously, try Beast Druid. It's really, really fun. And the other deck that was really strong was a Dragon Priest. I'll find a good Dragon Priest deck, and I'll put a link to that in the description below. But these three decks are the 3 that I believe are going to survive Grand Tournament. Because if we look at all the other classes, we look at what everyone else got. Like Druid just got Beast and token stuff. Darnassus gave a little bit more ramp. Same with Astral Communion and Aviana. These cards all gave some good ramp because they all gave ramp stuff. Hunter, they got Lock and Load, which is kind of fun. It's kind of more. They got a lot of control oriented cards. Power Shot is kind of control oriented or mid rangey. Acid Maw Dreadscale, Stable Master is beast themed, Ball of Spiders is terrible. Mage, we got a lot of kind of tempo-y cards. Polymorph Boar is good tempo, Spellslinger's tempo. Fallen Hero makes your hero power better. So, I don't know what you class that under. Maybe Inspire, like a kind of Inspire-ish thing. Dalaran Aspirant is very slow. Effigy is amazing. It's a cool new secret. More tempo. So kind of Mage got a lot of tempo tools, like Ronin is tempo, Kaldar Drake's tempo. Paladin got more kind of combo-y stuff. Murloc Knight, but they got kind of flood the board things. Competitive Spirit floods the board. If you flood the board, you get buffed. Warhorse Trainer flood the board with your silver hands. Murloc Knight floods the board. Enter the Colosseum stops your opponent from flooding the board. Mysterious Challenger. This guy is insane. He floods the board with secrets. And Eodric punishes your opponent for flooding the board. So Paladin kind of like floods the board and then punishes flooding the board. Priest, I don't even know what the theme for Priest was. I guess it was just kind of like dragons, because I mean dragons only really with Wormrest Agent. That's about it. They got Holy Champion, which is just a bigger light warden. They got Confuse, which is kind of, I don't even know what the hell they were thinking with Confuse. Confessor Paletris, it's Inspire, it's aggro with Spawn. I also got some aggro cards with Spawn of Shadows. Shadow Fiend's pretty cool. It's a fun card to play around with. What did Rogue get? Rogue got absolutely crap all. I mean, they got Beneath the Grounds for, like, Mill Rogue and Nubarak. That's a good card. It's not actually. Nubarak's terrible. Shaman, I think, got the best cards here. They got a lot of stuff for Totem. They got Healing Wave for anti-aggro. They got Ancestral Knowledge for card draw. Elemental Destruction for more reliable board clear. They got the Mist Caller for tempo and where was I going with this? Mistcaller. He's strong in minion heavy decks, which is generally what Shaman is, so Mistcaller is a strong card. Warlock got a lot of demons. They got Demon Fuse, they got Tiny Knight of Evil, which is they also got some cards which worked with discarding. I don't know what the hell that was. Void Crusher. It's kind of, he can kill himself, so he's not very useful. I don't even know what they were thinking. I'm just going to pretend this doesn't exist. They got Wilfred, which is more hero power, inspire-ish kind of interactions. Fearsome Doomguard, just a strong body. Warrior got a lot of Taunt and Dragon synergy. Well, they got one Dragon synergy card. And they got 3 new Taunt cards, Bolster, Sparring Partner, and King's Defender. They got Varian, who's insane. Sea Reaver, which I believe is for the patrons. And Magnetar Alpha, it's just kind of cool. And then in the neutral section, everything was kind of inspire-y, or kind of vanilla. It was Dragon, it was Inspire, or there was both. There's Dragons, there's Inspires, and there's both. That's about it. There's hero power interactions, jousting, and bolt. I forgot jousting. I forgot to talk about jousting. This is the other mechanic they introduced along with Inspire. I also haven't talked about Inspire, have I? Jousting. Reveal a minion in each deck. If yours costs more, X happens. Gain Taunt and Divine Shield in case of this guy. If the Skeleton Knight dies, you put him back into your hand. Cool stuff like that. So, the decks, I believe, will stay strong. With all the new deck types that could be made, the ones 3 I believe are going to stay the strongest are Beast Druid, which I have here. This Beast Druid deck, this is the decks that were made possible from this expansion, not pre-existing, already strong decks. I also want to talk about the ones that were made possible by this expansion. That's Beast Druid because of Druid of the Saber, Savage Combatant, Wild Walker, and Knight of the Wild. Like, these 4 cards just made Beast Druid possible. Knight of the Wild is crazy. Wild Walker, buffing your beasts, crazy. Savage Combatant, you're giving more value to your hero power, cool. Druid of the Saber, it's an early cost beast that has 3/2 stealth or a 2/1 charge beast, pretty solid. I just want to see what other. I think there was a couple of new beasts as well. We got Mulkless Champion, which isn't very good. I mean, I don't like it in my Beast Druid deck. Captured Jormungandr. I like to pretend that doesn't exist as well. Armored Warhorse, reveal a minion. It's not very, very good in this deck. This is kind of like a mid-rangey Druid deck. It can go fast, it can go slow. The second deck I think is going to survive the test of time is Totem Shaman. That's literally just because of, literally just because of Totem Golem, Tuskar Totemic, and Thunderbluff Valiant. Buffing all your totems already have like low attack, so if you keep Thunderbluff if you can hero power twice with Thunderbluff on the board, that's 2 permanent Savage Roars for your totems. That's already better than Bloodlust for your totems. Tuskar Totemic summons a totem, so that's pretty cool. He summons you can get a freaking Totem Golem out of this guy. You get another 3/4. On turn 2, play 3/4. Turn 3, you coin out on turn 2, you play Totem Golem. You get a 3/4. Turn 3, you coin out Tuskar Totemic because of the Overload. You get a 3/2 and another 3/4. That's pretty crazy. It's like a 1 in 8 chance of happening, and you need to go second and draw into Tuskar and Totem Golem. It doesn't happen very often, but when it does, it's pretty crazy. There's already a couple of totems already in the game. Like, you got Manatide, which is strong. You have kind of like the basic Shaman cards like Rockbiter, Earth Shock, Hex, Lightning Storm. You have Azure, and Fire Elementals, of course. And you have Dr. Boom, Azure Drake, Paolo Treader, just strong cards overall. Defender of Argus. If you don't get your Thunder Bluffs, you still want your totems to be able to do something. Defender of Argus lets them. Hot Gripper and Zombie Shower just strong alone. Flame Tongue Totem gives your totems more option to attack. So this is just generally a very strong deck. And the other one I want to talk about is Dragon Priest. Sadly, I do not have one. There will be a link in the description below. But Dragon Priest, it's a control priest deck, and you have dragons, and you rely on holding dragons. So I'll search if you're holding. So if you're holding a dragon, get X happens. So you got like You got things like, what's it called? Actually, I should just look in Blackrock, shouldn't I? Just go through Blackrock. You got Blackwing Technician if you're holding a dragon, buff things. Blackwing Corruptor, holding a dragon. Don't talk about Dragon and Crusher. Rend Blackhand is making a comeback as well. I've seen him being used. He was recently used on me earlier today. Rend is an interesting card. He kills legendaries. Of course, you need to be holding a dragon. Doesn't really matter because you're playing dragons. You could have like Volcanic Drakes. You could have I don't recommend Dragon and Crusher. You could have Chromagus. You could have Ysera. You could have any big legendary dragons. You've also got the new... What other ones do you have? You have Twilight Guardian, if you're holding a dragon, +1 attack and taunt. And you got Chill Maw, if you're holding a dragon. You got these two, which are really strong. 4 mana for 3/6 taunt, dragon, crazy good. Chill Maw, 7 mana 6/6 taunt, that kills patrons, crazy good. So those are the 3 decks that I believe are going to stand the test of time. Now with this many new cards, there are bound to be really good cards, and there are bound to be really good ones. I just want to go... really bad ones, sorry. I just want to kind of talk about what cards I think they look good now, but they're not gonna last long. People are gonna realize they're not very strong, or they're just too slow. These are just a few of the cards I thought weren't very good. The first one is Aviana. People are going to hate me for this. It's a gimmicky OTK card, Aviana. Because the body is... You need to have innervates in your hand, like 1 or 2 innervates in your hand. You need to play Aviana, and then like a minion, and then like innervate or 2, and play more minions just to protect Aviana. Not using your innervates early, which is when I would suggest which is when I usually use my innervates in Druid. It doesn't fit my style. I don't like Aviana, and it just seems too slow. It's very unreliable. In my opinion, it's very unreliable, and I'm just not a fan of it. It seems like it's not gonna last very long. It's gonna be in a couple of gimmicky decks, but it's not gonna be a mainstream Druid card. At least I don't think it will be. The next card I want to talk about is Bash. Deal 3 damage, gain 3 armor. 3 mana for 3 damage is okay. I mean, it's a little bit of damage, it's a little bit of armor. But if you like, let's look at the current warrior decks you've got. You have Control Warrior. Where you look at Control Warrior, it's already super refined. You're gonna want to take out some. You're gonna want to put this in summoning on your 3 slots. You're gonna want to take out. You're not gonna take out Shield Block. That's a must-have because that gives you more armor and card draw. Acolyte of Pain, that gives you card draw. I just put in Deathlords in this one instead of another Shield Block because aggro. So why would you take out Deathlords when aggro is so strong? I mean, Deathlord potentially kills 3 or 4 creatures, or trades like 2 for 1 or 3 for 1. Bash goes 1 for 1 and gives you a little bit of armor. It's not even very much armor. So, in Bash, I don't see... It might go... I don't think it'll last long in Patron Warrior as well. It might. I don't see it really going long in Patron Warrior, but it might. It might. Now, the next card I want to talk about is actually one of the cards I was very excited for, and that is this one. Justicar Trueheart. It's too slow. All I can say is it is too slow. You can play it in super heavy control decks, but outside of those, it's useless. Even then, in super heavy control decks, like what plays super heavy control? Warrior. Again, in Control Warrior, the hell do you slot out for this? Like, all of your cards fit your deck perfectly right now. They fit the meta perfectly. They fit the deck perfectly. The hell do you slot out? If the meta slows down enough, Justicar will be good. The meta will never slow down because people are going to keep playing aggro because aggro is the most efficient deck in Hearthstone. People know that. So Justicar is just too slow. The same goes for this next card, and that is Maiden of the Lake. Your hero power costs 1. It's cool. You're letting your hero power cost less. I mean, you can get the crazy combo with like Koldara Drake and 2 Fallen Heroes, but I don't like that's the chance of that happening. You have to have Maiden of the Lake and the 2 things survive. You have to have all 4 of these creatures survive, and then use 10 mana to kill you have to have all of them survive and then kill your opponent. So, and then rely on them not you having like armor if they're a warrior or druid. I don't like this card is just, it's again similar to the last one. It is just too slow. It doesn't do anything immediately when you play it on the board unless you play it on 5 mana. Use your hero power as like a mage or a rogue to kill something, or a druid maybe, or like a warrior to get a little bit cheap armor. But then this card, because of its effect, it just dies the second you play it. So not sure if I personally don't see it being a staple unless Inspire decks become a staple. And that is the last thing I wanted to talk about, is Inspire. Most Inspire cards are way too slow and they suck. Kick me, please. Like, seriously, flame me for saying that all you like. But Savage Combatant, this one I can see staying around because it gives your Druid hero power a lot of value. Druid has ways of getting more mana, so Savage Combatant, you play it on 4, you might have like 5 or 6 mana, so you can like innervate out hero power and use hero power for great value. Brave Archer, if your hand is empty, deal 2 damage to enemy hero. I don't... Brave Archer, this card, I'm conflicted about this card. I mean, it's just super heavy aggro, but then again, you look at Face Hunter, what do you slot out for it? Mage, Dalaran Aspirant, it's so slow. Hero power to gain 1, it's a Ascension Shield Master without taunt, but gets spell damage every time. For 2 mana, you get +1 spell damage, and even then it has to stick on the board. Dalaran Aspirant to me just seems very, very slow, and I'm not a fan. Murloc Knight. This card is actually really good. This is one of the few Inspire cards I feel actually has an impact. Murloc Knight, summon a random Murloc. That's really good. You can get any Murloc. Spawn of Shadows. It's like a aggro priesty card. It's literally just aggro. I mean, Priest doesn't really work for aggro. I've got an aggro Priest deck here. It's been doing okay, but it's not it's not reliable. Spawn of Shadows, because it's not in a super unreliable deck. I don't see it. Thunderbolt Valiant is another good Inspire card. I talked about that. Void Crusher, destroying a random minion. Because he can kill himself, you quickly lose value. If you kill like your opponent's crappy creature and you kill your big creature. If you play it in Zoo, you have to use... It's an 8 mana, kill an enemy creature, but also kill a friendly creature. Why play that when there are cards like Assassinate, and even then Assassinate don't see play? Orgrimmar Spirant, this card is flat out awful because warriors don't have many weapons, and you have to basically play this guy for 5 mana while you already have a weapon. I mean, he's just +1 attack. If you made like an Oil Rogue, a warrior equivalent of Oil Rogue, if there was cards like that, like with Greenskin and like Gorehowl with Orgrimmar Spirants, maybe upgrade. That'd be kind of cool. Maybe if someone tries that, cool, props to them. I'm not going to do it. Other Inspire cards, the Lowly Squire. It's like you play Lowly Squire on 1, and then turn 2 use your hero power. Why not play like an actual 2-drop? Bone Guard Lieutenant, 2 mana, 3/2. You have to use 2 mana to give it +1 health. You also get the effect of your hero power, yes, but your hero power effect is so minimal, so is the +1 health is important, so Bone Guard Lieutenant is okay. Argent Watchman, I hate this card. This card is terrible. Colosseum Manager, return this minion to your hand. It's okay. It's not terrible. It's okay. And similar to Argent Watchman, Argent Watchman promotes use of your hero power more often, but using your hero power means you'll lose tempo because you're losing 2 mana every turn just to attack with a 2/4. I mean, attacking with the 2/4, it's 2 damage. If it was like a 3/4 or a 4/4, yeah, it'd be cool. That'd be really good. Colosseum Manager. This guy. What do I even begin with this card? Returning it to your hand is cool. You can heal it, but then you also have to replay it for another 3 mana, using 2 mana just to heal it to full. 5 mana to heal it to full health. It's okay. I mean, 5 mana, you heal the card to full health. Dragonhawk Rider, Inspire Game. Waiting for you this turn. This card is god awful. It's very slow. It's super slow. And in the brawl, we tried it in last week's brawl. It was underwhelming to say the least. Silverhand Regent. Summon a 1/1 Silverhand. This card's okay. It's super slow. The problem with all these Inspire cards is how slow they are. Nexus Champion Sarad and Mookless Champion are okay, because Mookless Champion buffs your entire board, so it's a token-oriented card. Sarad gives you a spell, so you could get some crazy high-impact spell, so Sarad is a strong card. Coda Rider, that's underwhelming. It's very slow. Recruiter, again, very slow, because it adds it to your hand and not to your board. It's very slow. You have to pay them 2 mana for the 2/2. Cavaldier Raider, I mean, at least it gives you a minion. It puts cards into your hand, it gives you minions. But it's just you have to pay the mana for the minions, and if it put it on the board, it would be really, really strong. But because it puts it into your hand, it's okay. I haven't really played much Recruiter. It's okay. Cavalry Orator, it's an okay card. My own biggest problem with Inspire is how slow it is. I know there's some Inspire card I miss. There's some Inspire cards I don't have. Wait, do I have them all? Do I have all the Inspire cards? I don't have a Confessor Paletress. I didn't talk about this one. 9 mana, you get 2 legendaries and a chance at summoning more legend. And if their Paletress survives, then you get more legendaries. That's really good. Confessor Paletress is really good. I don't know how long it's gonna last, but it's fun. It's really strong. That's all the Inspire cards. So Inspire, just as a mechanic, is very slow. Talking about Joust. Jousting. Yeah, I think jousting is a cool mechanic. There's some cool jousting cards. Master Jouster is very strong. 6 mana for 5/6 taunt, Divine Shield. If you lose the joust, you just got a 5/6. Gadgets and Jouster is strong. It's in some cases it's better than Zombie Chow, because against aggro, personally I prefer this to Zombie Chow, because in an aggro heavy meta, I believe Gadgets and Jouster will be better than Zombie Chow. If you're playing a control heavy deck, Gadgetson will be better than Zombie Chow, because you'll put down Gadgetson. They'll have low cost stuff. You'll have higher cost stuff. Gadgetson will come out as a 1 mana 2/3 without the drawback of healing your opponent if you damage them. If you didn't damage them, Zombie Chow's better, or Zombie Chow's just as good. But if you did, oh well. King's Alec, it's cool. Puts a card into your hand. Tusker Jouster restores a lot of health. Argent Lance, 2 mana 2/3 weapon, really good. Shaman Healing Wave, 3 mana 14 health. Really, it's so good. Healing Wave is so cool. Armored Warhorse, 4 mana 5/3 charge, really good. That's really good. Skeletonite, it's okay. But jousting's a more interesting mechanic than Spire. And all in all, I think I just want to give some final thoughts on this expansion. It's been good. I've really enjoyed it. I've really enjoyed seeing all these new cards. A lot of people have, from what I understand, a lot of people have been enjoying these new cards. Some people find them very underwhelming. I have really, really liked these cards. I've had a lot of fun, and it's just been a good expansion. So it's, in my opinion, less accessible in GVG, because all the good cards are legendary and epic, so you need to buy a lot more packs. But better overall card quality than GVG. Like, GVG has very few cards that are used, like 30 or something. Even then, some of those rarely. And this expansion has a lot more cards that I believe personally will continue to be used, and has enabled a few more deck types, it's always good to see some things that are Patriot Warrior, Face Hunter. Alright, so thank you very much everybody for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Be sure to like and subscribe.